The VFW Americanism Award is presented annually to individuals for their outstanding contributions to the American principles of patriotism, commitment to service, and love of country. Since 1959, it's been presented to military personnel as well as members of Congress, actors, entertainers, a billionaire, the Secretaries of Defense and Veterans Affairs, and a Vice President of the United States. Emblematic of all our magnificent troops and their families are the non-commissioned officers who provide mentorship, inspiration, and intrepid leadership to the enlisted ranks and the committed counsel to officer ranks of our military services. The membership of the VFW is deeply appreciative for the sacrifice and courageous service of all our enlisted personnel, and the ultimate way to honor them by us is to present the Americanism Award to the senior enlisted advisors of the 5 military services. They stand as a bright and shining example of selfless dedication and support of more than 1.4 million active duty soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen. Due to a cancellation of a flight, the Army enlisted Sergeant Major Kenneth O. Preston cannot be with us today.
Comrades, I'll just read the citation. As we all know, if flights get canceled today, you ain't getting a backup. So we will have the Sergeant Major come to the Washington Conference, and we will make the appropriate presentation to the United States Army at the Washington Conference. The dedication of Sergeant Major Preston as the longest-serving Sergeant Major of the Army and that of 550,000 active duty soldiers serving today is true to the ideas, traditions, and values of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States this 24th day of August 2010, approved by the National Council of Administration, signed by the Commander-in-Chief, Thomas J. Tradewell, Sr., the Adjutant General, Alan F. Gunner Kent.
American Distinguished Service Award Gold Medal and citation presented to Carlton W. Kent, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, on behalf of the men and women of the United States Marine Corps. In special recognition and sincere appreciation to the enlisted men and women of the United States Marine Corps who carry out its national defense missions afloat and offshore in theaters of operation ranging from Iraq and Afghanistan to elsewhere around the globe. The dedication of Sergeant Major Kent and that of more than 200,000 active duty Marines serving today is true to the ideals, traditions, and values of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. In witness whereof, we have set our hands in the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. This 24th day of August, 2010, approved by the National Council of Administration, signed by Thomas J. Tradewell, Sr., Commander-in-Chief, and Alan Gunner Kent, Adjutant General.
Good morning. My name is Sergeant Major Greg Grizzle with United States Marine Corps Forces Command, and I'm proud to accept this award on behalf of the 16th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Carlton W. Kent, who could not be here today because he is visiting our Marines in Afghanistan. So for him and all of the Marine Corps, thank you very much. Hoorah.
Hoorah. Triple 5 Marine, retired Marine, retired Marine.
Semper Fi, Sergeant. Thanks for coming. We appreciate having you here.
Appreciate being here. Thank you. Something quicker.
Representing the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, Rick D. West, is Command Master Chief Chris Adams of Navy Region Midwest in Great Lakes, Illinois.
Americanism Distinguished Service Award Gold Medal and Citation presented to Rick D. West, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy on behalf of the enlisted men and women of the United States Navy, in special recognition and sincere appreciation to the enlisted men and women of the United States Navy who carry out its national defense missions afloat and ashore in theaters of operation ranging from Iraq and Afghanistan to elsewhere around the globe. The dedication of Master Chief West and that of more than 330,000 active duty sailors serving today is true to the ideas, traditions, and values of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States this 24th day of August 2010, approved by the National Council Administration, signed by the Commander-in-Chief Thomas J. Tradewell, Jr., the Adjutant General Alan F. Gunner Kent.
Haze grain underway, right? You know, I had a script that I was going to follow, but I'm not going to do that because as I look at you, I want to be you. Because this card right here, it's not metal like some of your older folks, but I do have it. It's a life membership. I'm very proud of all of you. You probably don't hear that very often, but I am very proud of you for what you've done, because I know that I would not be standing here today if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you very much.
Representing the Chief Master Sergeant of the United States Air Force, James A. Roy, is Command Chief Master Sergeant Christopher Muncie of the Air National Guard Bureau in Washington, D.C.
Americanism Distinguished Service Award Gold Medal and Citation presented to James A. Roy, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, on behalf of the enlisted men and women of the United States Air Force. In special recognition and sincere appreciation to the enlisted men and women of the United States Air Force who carry out its national defense missions in theaters of operation ranging from Iraq and Afghanistan to elsewhere around the globe. The dedication of Chief Master Sergeant Roy and that of the 330,000 active duty airmen serving today is true to the ideas, traditions, and values of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States this 24th day of August 2010, approved by the National Council Administration, signed by the Commander-in-Chief Thomas J. Tradewell, Sr. and the Adjutant General Alan F. Gunner Kent.
Well, I can't let the Command Master Chief top me, so there's my life member card too. Make sure that's up there. On behalf of my wingman, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, James Roy, who sends his apologies for not being here. He's out taking care of our airmen around the globe. I know he would want to tell you thanks to the VFW. for always fighting for soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines and their families. First and foremost, we always must remember those families that were there for you when you were gone and are there for our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines and coasties now. On behalf of the blue suit business here, on behalf of the 330,000 airmen in the Air Force, the 108,000 airmen of the Air National Guard, and the 70,000 airmen of the U.S. Air Force Reserves, we just want to say thanks. Thanks for remembering us. When 99.2% of the American public has no clue about what it is to serve, we thank organizations like the VFW that take up that streamer, take up that guidon, and fight for us. So thanks for being there for us and for taking care of this great nation. God bless.
And for our very proud and vocal minority here in the audience, we're certainly honored to have with us today Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, Charles W. Skip Bowen, who just recently retired after 32 years of service to our nation.
Americanism Distinguished Service Award Gold Medal and Citation presented to Charles W. Bowen, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, retired, on behalf of the enlisted men and women of the U.S. Coast Guard, in special recognition and sincere appreciation to the enlisted men and women of the United States Coast Guard who carry out its critical missions of national defense, maritime safety, security and mobility, and the protection of national resources. The dedication to duty demonstrated by Master Chief Bowen and that of the enlisted men and women serving in today's active duty and reserve components of the U.S. Coast Guard is true to the ideas, traditions, and values of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States this 24th day of August 2010, approved by the Council of Administration, signed by the Commander-in-Chief, Thomas J. Tradewell, Sr., and the Adjutant General, Alan F. Gunner Kent. Go ahead, Chief.
Go VFW. I'm a proud member of the Gunnery Sergeant Elias P. Fontecchio VFW post in Cocoa Beach, Florida. But I will say on behalf of the 50,000 active duty and reserve enlisted men and women of the Coast Guard that are stationed worldwide, including the Northern Arabian Gulf, it is a great honor to receive this from the VFW. Thank you.
Comrades, let's render another rousing applause for our nation's senior enlisted leaders, to all the wonderful active duty enlisted and their families that they so well represent. Thank you.